Sanje Shoda Soge Chonam La Chanju Bardo Dane Gyasu Nage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benju Sanje Jubare Sho Sanje Shoda Soge Chonam Chanju Bardo Dane Gyasu Che Nage Jinso Gebe Sonam Chola Benju Sanje Jubare Sho Sanje Choda Soge Chonam La Chanju Bardo Dane Gyasu Nage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benju Sanje Jubare Sho. I go for refuge, gentlemen, enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. I make accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge, gentlemen, enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I make accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge, gentlemen, enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I make accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Yata Gato Yavatat Esham Chayo Niroda Evam Bhati Mahasramana Yesvaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Teshan Tathagato Yavatat Esham Chayo Niroda Evam Bhati Mahashramana Yesvaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Deshan Tathagato Yavatat Deshan Chayo Niroda Evam Bhati Mahashramana Yesvaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. Causes as well as took by the great seer. Eyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasambhati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasambhati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasambhati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasambhati Bodhiswaha. Okay. Louder. They're louder. Alex, can you hear me? Very clearly? Can you hear me? Or is this better? Better? Okay. Okay, so yesterday we were doing the 4 essentials. The first essential, we did which essential? The first one. First one we finished, not finished. Okay, we finished. What is the first essential? Essential of identifying the object of negation. Okay, so what we identified was identified as object of negation pertaining to the wisdom of pertaining to emptiness is object existence. And then we asked as to what exactly is objective existence. And then we described, come to the conclusion that objective existence is existence which is independent of the mind. Something which exists independent of the mind, which does not have, which is not at all imputed, which is not at all brought into, which has nothing to do with the mind. Something which is so independent of the object is known as objective existence. Okay. But this then, when we look at the other person sitting next to you, we come to see the person as objectively real, so objectively real, and we said that is seeing the other person as objectively real, and believing that the other person is objectively real, that is the self-grasping intelligence. Now the question is how to get rid of this object, how to reject the objective existence. For that matter, we have the essential number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay, so the essential number 2, number 3, and number what is essential number 2? The essential understanding, emptiness of the objects being one with its parts. Okay. And what is the essential number 2? 3. What is essential number 3? Essential understanding, the emptiness of the objects being different from its parts. So these we have to have on our fingertips. For essentials, we have to have on our fingertips. Okay, we are doing essential number 2 and essential number 3 now. Okay, let's see what is essential number 2. Say it again. The essential of understanding, the emptiness of the objects being one with its parts. Okay, what is essential number 3? Essential of understanding, the emptiness of the objects being different from its parts. Yes. Then essential number 4, essential of understanding, the pervasion that anything which is empty of being one with or different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. Okay, let's see this again. Essential number 4. Essential of understanding, the pervasion that anything which is empty of being one with or different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. Right? Okay, we got this. So with this now, okay, let's say that Group A and Group B. Okay, let's say this row's first row, second row, and the Frizz here, Group A, then Maria, Group A, Chan, Group A, and then Oath. Okay. Oath here, Group A, left Oath, Group B, right Oath, Group A. Okay, and then the Alex, Vincent, and the rest here, Group A. So this is Group B, right? Okay, let's say. Okay, Group A, do you see this? Okay, Group A, do you see this object? Yeah. Group B, do you see this object? Okay, this is very important. Group A will look at this object through your naked eyes. Right Oath, Chen, Maria, all in group A, right? Okay, in group A. And then Alex, Vincent, and the rest here. The left oath, group B. So group A looks at this flower through your naked eyes. I'm not saying flower, this object through your naked eyes. Group B will look at through your electron microscope. You're getting it? Electron microscope. Okay. Group A, tell me, what is this? Group B, tell me, what is this?
Atoms.
Millions of atoms. Hey, Group B, tell me, what is this? Millions of atoms. Okay, say it again, what is this?
Millions of atoms.
Very good. Okay, now, pertaining to the flower, right? So just say whether it's a flower or not flower. Group A, what is this?
Flower.
Group B, what is this? No flower. Flower is not there. Flower is empty. Flower is empty. So, okay, Alex and Vincent will be here, right? With the electron microscope. So, what do you see? Flower is empty. Emptiness of the flower. You getting it? Group B, what do you see? Emptiness of the flower. What do you see? It's just millions of atoms. Millions of atoms. Where's the flower? It's empty. It's not there. So group B, what do you say? Okay, group B, what do you say? What is this? Emptiness of flower. Flower is empty. Okay. Group A, what do you see? Flower. Okay. Now, every morning we are reciting Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra says, form is empty. What group A is seeing as form is what group B is seeing is empty. Form is emptiness. You getting it? What group B sees as? Hey, group A. What group B sees as? Emptiness is what group A is seeing as form. Emptiness is form. You getting it? Okay. What group A is seeing? What group A is seeing as the form? What group B is seeing as emptiness? Are these two the same object or different objects? Are you sure? Hey, group A, where's the form? This one? Hey, group B, what is this? Emptiness of flower. Very good. So we see that what group A sees is the flower, what group B sees is the emptiness of the flower. In other words, what group A sees is the form, what group B sees as the emptiness of form. Are these two the same object or two different objects?
Same object.
These two same entity or different entities? Same entity. And same isolate or different isolate? Huh? What you see as form, what you see as emptiness, are these two same entities, same isolate or different isolates? Huh? Two. Different isolates?
No.
Okay, you are afraid of my face. Actually, it is different. Because, okay, now tell me, how are these two isolates different? Anyone? What group A sees as a flower, what group B sees as emptiness of flower. How these two are isolate-wise different? Anyone? Anyone? The Gueshe? Yes?
C'est deux façons de voir les deux réalités.
It's two ways to see the same reality.
The two ways to see the same reality. Very good. Anyone else? How these two are two different isolates? And the Patrick?
L'un est le tout, l'autre est une partie du tout.
One is the whole and the other is the part of the whole.
I'm not too sure. The Ola?
For me, it's because I'm not capable of seeing it one.
No, what I'm saying is that you know that if I look at through my naked eyes, I see this as a flower. If I look at through electron microscope, I see this as an empty flower. You know that.
Yeah.
Now tell me, these two actually was different or the same?
It's still different.
How different? Virginia?
Still, parce que ces deux isolats, quand on les cherche, on les désigne sur la même endroit. Là.
Because those two isolates, when we designate them, we point them on the same object.
That's true. But how these two things, the flower, entrance flower, these two are different isolates. Okay, still I'm not too happy. Yes, over there, or the Nicola?
When I think of the flower, I have an image of the flower. When I see the atoms of the flower, I have an image of the atoms of the flower. So it appears different.
You're not thinking of the emptiness, the atoms. You're thinking of the emptiness of the flower.
Okay, so
Or Sienna?
Yes, almost same.
Almost same. Okay. Okay, Nico?
From the point of view of the subject, we can segregate the different isolates in the mind.
How? Oh. Yesterday we learned something, right? Yesterday we concluded emptiness.
Ici, from our mind is.
Yesterday we learned something, right? Huh? You remember? You remember? Anyone else? Just remember what two important things we learned yesterday. From there you can get a...
Deux vérités conventionnelles.
Two truths, conventional and ultimate.
This is good, but will come later. Anyone else? Martin?
It's a vision that change.
The vision change, yes. Aude?
On a parlé de phénomènes positifs et négatifs.
Very good. I'm looking for this. Why did you not give answer right away? Why did she not give the answer right from the beginning? Okay, so that's true. The flower is a positive phenomenon, and the emptiness of the flower is a negative phenomenon. Positive and negative in your thoughts, these two are very different. You're getting it? Do you agree with me or not? Positive phenomena, negative phenomena, how they appear is very different. One is direct and one is by negating something, by explicitly negating something. So therefore emptiness is negative phenomena and the flower is positive phenomena. So therefore when you meditate, I'm meditating the emptiness of flower, and then flower comes to your mind. You are not meditating emptiness. This is a positive phenomena. Positive, when the positive phenomena comes to your mind, you are never meditating emptiness. Don't forget it. This is extremely important. You're getting it? This is extremely important. Okay, now with this. Hey, group B. Group B, what are you seeing?
Millions of atoms.
Millions of atoms. Anyone else? Emptiness of flower. You see two things, right?
Yes.
When you look at through electron microscope, group B, hey, group B. Group A also listen to this. don't think that group A is unrelated to this, right? Group A, you should be also learning this. Right, okay. Group B, you see two things, right? When you look at this electron microscope, you see the millions of atoms. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes. Then, related to the flower, you see the flower disappears. And you see these two things. Millions of atoms and also the flower's empty, flower disappears. Tell me. Millions of emptiness, millions of atoms and the emptiness of flower. These two are entity-wise same, different. Hey, millions of atoms and emptiness of flower. Entity-wise, same or different?
One is positive and
No, entity-wise. French, they are going so fast. French people, they go so fast and they don't reach. Right? Once what happened, this you have to learn. This you have to learn. Once there was somebody from a very remote place in Tibet. From this remote place, people go to Lhasa, capital city of Tibet. How many of you Lhasa? How many of you know Lhasa? Lhasa is the capital city of Tibet. Right? So people go from the remote area to Lhasa. In those days, many hundred years ago, without the cars, no cars. Okay. So when they go, some of them go by walking. Some of them by the horses. So there was one traveler who was like a merchant, going very frequently between the two places. And there was a person who was new. And he already reached to some extent. It already about like one day finished. And then he met the other traveler who was very frequent traveler, and asked him, how long will it take me from here to Lhasa? Because he already traveled to some extent. And then the man did not give any answer. He again asked the same question. Sir, please tell me, how long will that take to reach Lhasa? Again, the man did not give any answer. He became very angry. He left, started with a horse. He was galloping. Then the man stopped him. Hey, it'll take you No. He asked him. Then the frequent traveler asked him, where did you come from? So he said, I came from place A. Place A. Oh, you came so fast. So from place A to this place where they reached now, place A to this place, usually it takes 2 days. And for you, it only took 1 day, right? If you go at this pace, this speed, you will not reach Lhasa. Do you understand? Right? Usually, he's going so fast. Usually, to reach to that place takes how many days? 2 days. And he took how many days? 1 day. So the frequent traveler, he said that if you go at this pace, you will not reach Lhasa. Do you understand? You will not reach Lhasa. Then he said, why? Because you die on the road. Going so fast. You're going so fast, your horse will be tired. And your horse will die on the road. You will also die. You're getting it? So therefore French people, they go so fast. I ask, what is isolate? And you're asking entity, you're talking about entities. You're getting it? No. I'm asking for them. Yes. I'm asking for the entities. Okay. Okay, my question to you is, okay, group B. Group E. What are you seeing? Millions of atoms, and you're also seeing the emptiness of the flower. Okay, tell me. Millions of atoms on the one hand, emptiness of flower on the other hand, are these two entities one or different? Huh? Emptiness one? Huh? Alex, are you sure? How do you say that these two entities was one? How?
Because it's the same object.
Because you are pointing to the same object, whereas the millions of atoms is here, whereas the emptiness of flower is here. You getting it? Okay. Now tell me, group B, while you are seeing both things, millions of atoms on the one hand, and also the emptiness of flower on the other hand, you are seeing both things. Tell me. Okay, these two things, are these two isolated, one or different? Huh?
Different.
Are these two isolated, one or different? Okay, how these two isolated was different? And now group A with both. Raise your hands. How these two are isolated was different? Okay, oath here. The oath, left oath. Yes. how these entities was different.
Comment ce sont les isolés différents? Comment ce sont les isolés différents?
Est-ce qu'il peut répéter la question? Je crois qu'on est encore.
Okay, Patrick.
La question.
La question c'est comment les millions d'atomes et la vacuité de la fleur sont deux isolés différents.
Patrick.
Because when we see the milliard of atoms, it's a positive phenomenon. And when we see the emptiness of the flower, it's negative.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Okay, now what happens is that, say, this is, we are talking about the flower. Now, we are, okay, sit up properly for the meditation. Now we will meditate emptiness. Very quick, sit up properly. Okay, we learned about, we already learned about the 5 aggregates, right? We learned about what are the 5 aggregates? Aggregate of form, smell, touch. No. Form, smell. No, what are the 5 aggregates? You forgot. You forgot? What are they? Form, feeling, discrimination, competent factors, and consciousness. Very good. Okay, so what we are, each one of us, one thing that we should be very sure is that we are made of 5 aggregates. This one must be very confident. Then we are also made of 6 elements. For example, let's say in this group is made of, say, boys and girls. You agree with me or not? Good. This group is also made of the, say, okay, 30 and below and 30 plus. Is anyone 30 below? Or let's say 30 below. Only one. Okay, let's say I should be more careful. Okay. 40 and below. 40 and below. And 40 and plus, including myself. Okay, so we can group this again, we can divide this into 2, 40 and below and 40 plus. This is one way of classifying. And another way of classifying is Capuchin and not Capuchin. Is it fine?
Yes.
The whole this group can be divided into Capuchin and non-Capuchin. Right? Fine. Okay, let's say. So that way, there are so many ways of classification. Likewise, the self. How we see the self, we can see the self in the form of 5 aggregates. Right? If you separate the 5 aggregates, the self disappears. This is the conviction that you must have, number 1. Number 2, then we should be able to see ourselves in the form of 6 elements. What are 6 elements? Element earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. 6 elements. So we are made of 6 elements. If you remove the 6 elements, again the person disappears. That we should be very convinced of. You getting it? Okay. Now what we do is that, okay, let's say we meditate the emptiness of the self. So first what we do is, okay, let's say emptiness of self. For the emptiness of self, and just observe yourself. What are you doing? I'm meditating. What is your body doing? My body is in a meditative posture. Okay, fine, good. So this person, how does this person appear to you? Objectively real or subjectively real? Subjectively real meaning something which is like a dream that your mind created, or it has nothing to do with mind, it is so objectively there, so solidly there from the object. Which of the 2 ways this person appears to you? So solidly there from the object. Okay, and you believe in this. That is known as the self-grasping ignorance. This is mistaken. This is the one which is responsible for creating all the problems. Now, if this person, how do we know that this person, this I, do not exist objectively, how can I know that this I is like a dream? Okay, for that matter, if the I actually exists objectively, remember what Arjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay, now for the time being, just for a short period of time, come out of meditation. Just for a short period of time, come out of the meditation and listen to me. Listen to me. Okay, say from 1 kilometer away, from me, you are seeing that there's water. There's water. I'm in water. From distance 1 kilometer away, you see that I'm in water, right? Okay, tell me, how will you evaluate? How would you evaluate whether I'm in water or what you see is mirage? How can you evaluate that? Okay, very good. Tell me once more. How will you evaluate that whether I am in water or what you see is just a mirage? How will you evaluate this? You come closer to me. You're getting it. Very good. Okay, you come closer to me. Okay, you come closer to me. Good. So now, coming closer to me, when you realize that there's nothing, everything so dry. You getting it? Everything's so dry. There's no water there. What will you conclude? Your earlier perception of water was mirage, mistaken, and it was just a mirage. You're getting it? This is how you evaluate. You have to come closer. From where the water appeared, you come closer there, you realize that if it is dry, you realize the earlier perception was deceptive. And it's just a mirage. Likewise, so this person, they'll be meditating. Okay, now, go back to meditation. Okay, you are just observing yourself, see yourself, and how this self appears to you. So object real, so solidified there. Okay. This perception of the self to be so object real, this is mistaken. This is self-grasping goods. How can I know this? How can I know that this perception is wrong? How can I know that this is not a correct perception? So for that we get incredibly precious teaching from Arjuna, who brilliantly came up with this analysis that if the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay, let us all say this 2 times together. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay, now, just as we explore whether what you perceived was mirage or water, we go closer towards the object, towards that object which appeared as water. By going closer there, if we discover that it was just totally dry, earlier perception was just deceptive, it was just mirage as opposed to being water. Likewise, this person, you have to go closer towards the person to see whether he or she exists objectively. Okay, by closer towards the object, we see that we first see the very thin layer of the skin. Anything which is not the self, we are not interested in what is not self, we are only interested in the self existing objectively. So this thing, whatever is not the self, we'll just ignore, keep them aside. So thin layer of the skin is, of course, is not me, keep them aside. And behind that is the fatty tissues, of course, that is also not me. Behind that is the muscles, the cartilages, that is also not me. Then behind that is the bones, the whole skeleton. Then the blood vessel, the heart, the spleen, the lungs, the stomach, the pancreas, the kidney,
the liver, the gallbladder, none of these solid part is me, 100%. Okay, these solid parts constitute the element of earth. In short, element of earth is not me. Keep aside the element of earth. Now the element of water, the blood which is pumped in and out by the heart through the different parts of the body, even that is also not me to remove that. Element of fire, the body heat. Of course, the body heat is not me. Element of fire is not me. Keep it aside. Element of air, the air which I breathe in and out. Of course, that is not me. Keep them aside. Element of space. I'm solid. I'm a solid person in nature. There's a solidity there with me. The vacuum is the space is just vacuum. It doesn't have any solidity there. And the space is also not me. Remove that. What is that now? Only consciousness, and the element of consciousness. Even the element of consciousness is also not me. Consciousness, I'm a male, I'm a female. Consciousness doesn't have a gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. And people cannot see my mind, whereas they can see me. Therefore, even this mind is also not me. Remove that. What is left now? Nothing is left there. Nothing is left there. Okay, stay in this experience of emptiness. Okay, slowly come out of the meditation. Come out of the meditation. Okay. Tell me, we've gone to that extent, of looking for the self in the form of the 6 elements. And none of the 6 elements is this person. You agree with me? None of the 6 elements is a person. You agree with me? If none of the 6 elements, if that is not the self, remove all these 6 elements which are not the self. What is left? What is left? Nothing is left. Nothing is left. So where is the self? The self disappears. You're getting it? Self disappears. Okay. Okay. Where is Alex? Where's Alex? Huh? Yes, there, right? Okay, Alex, raise your hands. Okay, we found Alex?
Yes.
Okay. After seeing Alex, still I ask, where is Alex? Before I see Alex, when I say, where is Alex? Okay, tell me. This is very important. Before I see Alex, I'm looking for, where is Alex? This analysis, this investigation, is this something permissible in the conventional world?
Yes.
You getting it? After seeing Alex, still I'm asking, where is Alex? Okay, look, this is very serious. After seeing Alex, still I'm asking, where is Alex? Is this something the conventional world will consider as a good question? No. You're getting it? Okay. So, say, where's the table? I want a table. I want a table, right? And then, if you don't know what table is, you can bring the best of the table maker, the best of the carpenter who makes the table, and the carpenter will say, "There's a table right in front of you." Getting it? The carpenter, he knows about the table the best. So he says, "There's a table in front of you." Okay, seeing the table. So before I see the table, where's that? I want a table. Where's the table? I want a table. So this analysis. Is this something acceptable to the conventional world? And who is the best of the conventional world pertaining to the table? Table makers. You're getting it? So table makers will say, yes, there's a table there in front of you. I see, okay, where's the table? I see the table, still I ask, where's the table? Then the table, what will the table maker, the carpenter, what answer the carpenter will give? Can you imagine? I see the table already, still I ask, where's the table? What do you think the carpenter will say? Dana is saying that something's wrong with you. Okay, look. Then I ask the carpenter, oh, this is the table. This is the table. Carpenter will say what? Yes. Then I pick up this top plank, right? I point to the top plank. Top plank is a table. What's the answer? Top plank, is it a table? No, you remove it. Then legs are the table? No. Then where's the table? Then the carpenter cannot give any answer. You agree with me? Carpenter cannot give answer. Okay, who knows the best about the wooden table? Carpenter. But which means that all the questions which I ask pertaining to the table, right? Table should be answered by the carpenter, but the carpenter cannot give the answer. You're getting it? So now there are two questions, two analysis. One analysis which the carpenter can accept, which the carpenter can easily accept, right? Okay, so this table, look at the strength. How many years do you think it will last? Carpenter will just look at it, or it lasts for 10 years. Very easy. But which is the table? Top leg is the table, the legs are the table. He has answer, he has no answer. Carpenter, do you think that he or she has answer? No answer. Because the question, where's the table, is in front of you. That question is known as conventional question. Conventional analysis. Analysis which the conventional world accepts. You're getting it? Now there's a second analysis. You, after seeing the table, still you ask where's the table, then you cross the border of the conventional analysis. You cross the border of the conventional analysis. Hey, where are you? You say, hey, where's Dorji? I say, I'm here. Right? I'm here. You see me? You see me. Still you ask, where are you, Dorji? Right? Then I say, I'm here. Right? I'm here. Right? Your chest is you. I said, no. Then you said, you pointed to your chest and said that I'm here. Just you, no. Your body is you, no. Your mind is you, no. Then, if you analyze this, where is the self? Where is Dorji? Dorji will disappear. You getting it? You getting it? Okay, so there are two investigations. One is investigation which is accepted by the conventional world. In this analysis, in this investigation, in this analysis, you can find everything. The moment you cross the border of the conventionality, that analysis, second analysis, which crosses the border of the conventionality, you cross that, you go into ultimate analysis. What is the opposite of convention? Hey, the French listeners, what is the opposite of convention? Convention? Ultimate. You're getting it? So when you cross the border of conventionality, you are going to the ultimate analysis. Okay, from this what we learn is that there are two kinds of analysis. Conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. Do you remember the two questions? Before we go into emptiness, we have to start the study of emptiness with two questions. Do you remember two questions? What are they? Do things exist? What is the answer? Yes. If you say no, what's the problem? You go into nihilism. What's the second question? Do things exist objectively? What's the answer? No. Okay. Only if you say yes to the first question, no to the second question, then you are getting to emptiness. You're getting it? Okay, so therefore, the analysis. When you say do things exist, we are talking about the first analysis, conventional analysis. With the conventional analysis, we'll find everything. The whole universe exists. on the basis of the conventional analysis. You're getting it? With the ultimate analysis, what we analyze, object that you analyze using the ultimate analysis, nothing will be found. Nothing will be found. Okay. What can be found by ultimate analysis? What can be found by conventional analysis? Tell me. Huh? Everything. I'm not too sure. Right? Okay. Say what you find by ultimate analysis. Okay. With the ultimate analysis, I'm telling you one thing. You have not picked up one point which I said it. You missed that part. I said that you put any object to this analysis, you will see that this object disappears. You will not find this object. I said this. I did not say you will not find anything. Right? Okay. Ultimate analysis will find the ultimate reality. You getting it? Ultimate analysis will find the ultimate reality. Okay, two truths. Ultimate truth and conventional truth. The truth which is found by the conventional analysis is known as conventional truth. The truth which is found by the ultimate analysis is known as the ultimate truth. Two truths. You're getting it? Okay, now let's go back to this flower. Let's go back to the flower. Say, where's the flower? It's in front of you. Where's the flower? It's in front of you. This is ultimate analysis or conventional analysis? Conventional analysis. After seeing the flower, then you ask, which is the flower? The petal is the flower, the stamen is the flower, the anther is the flower, the cell is the first cell is the flower, second cell is the flower, like this. Then what happens to the flower? The flower will disappear. So this analysis, is this conventional analysis? No. This is what? Ultimate analysis. You getting it? Okay. So, tell me, Group A, what are you seeing? Flower. So, Group A analysis is what? Conventional analysis, ultimate analysis. Conventional analysis. Group B, what is this? Emptiness of the flower. Means the atoms, emptiness of the flower. Emptiness of the flower disappears. So, pertaining to the flower disappears. Group B. So, Group B analysis, which saw the flower disappears, that analysis is known as ultimate analysis. Group A, your analysis, what is this analysis? Group A? Conventional analysis. You're getting it? With the conventional analysis, what do you find? You will find the conventional truth. With the ultimate analysis, what do you find? You find the ultimate truth. Hey, tell me now. This flower, does it have two truths or only one truth? Everything has two truths. Everything has two truths. Don't forget it. Everything has two truths. This flower also has two truths. Okay. What are the two truths of the flower? Conventional truth and ultimate truth. What is the conventional truth of the flower? It's very easy. Just ask Group A. To know what ultimate conventional truth is, ask Group A, because Group A uses the conventional analysis. Right? If you want to know what is the conventional truth, ask Group A. Ask hey Group B. Ask Group A. Hey, what is the conventional truth of this flower? What are you seeing? Hey, Group A. Flower. Right? Flower is conventional truth. Now, if Group A wants to know ultimate truth, ask the ultimate analysis. Group B. Huh? Emptiness of flower. So the flower disappears. Emptiness of flower. Emptiness of flower is what was seen by the ultimate analysis. What is seen by ultimate analysis is the ultimate truth. So the same object, this flower. What's the conventional truth of this flower? As seen by Group A, the flower. What's the ultimate truth of this flower? As seen by Group B. What is that? Hey, Group B, what do you see? Emptiness of the flower. So emptiness of flower is the ultimate truth of the flower. You're getting it? Two truths. Now, with this, okay, say, Group B, when you look at this flower, earlier we said that you can see this in two ways. One, millions of atoms. One, emptiness of atom, emptiness of flower. You understand it? Hey, group B. Right? You look at this same object, you see either millions of atoms or emptiness of flower. You're getting it? Okay, now what happens in both cases? Whether you see this as millions of atoms or whether you see this as emptiness of flower, in both cases, what happens to the flower? The flower disappears, flower is empty. You're getting it? Okay, group A also listen to this. The flower disappears, the flower is empty. Now, some people, they think that they're meditating on emptiness of flower. Then they first go into the cells, molecules, atoms, and then they stay in this. Millions of atoms, the flower disappears, atoms are there. Then just keep meditating on the atoms. They think that they're meditating. They're saying that I'm meditating the emptiness of the flower. Flower disappears, now the atoms are there, right? Just keep meditating on the atoms. Okay, tell me. Meditation on the atoms, is that the meditation on the emptiness of the flower? Hey, group B. No. This is what you are seeing. It's atoms. This is not meditation emptiness of the flower. Okay, why not?
Parce que les atomes sont des phénomènes positifs, et donc à partir du moment qu'on médite sur un phénomène positif, on n'est pas encore dans la vacuité de la fleur.
Because the atoms are positive phenomena, and if we meditate on positive phenomena, we cannot meditate on the emptiness of the flower.
Very good, thank you. Wow, amazing. This is how many years after?
4 years.
After 4 years. Wow. Wonderful. So therefore, the study of the entities and isolates, you're getting it? The study of the entities and isolates, you look at this, millions of atoms, you also see the emptiness of flower, too. And well, these two are just in the same object. And then you get mixed up with these two things. Because you study entities and isolates, you are able to separate them very clearly. One is positive, one is negative. Also you learned about positive and negative phenomena, right? Things become very clear now. So what is emptiness, what is not emptiness, it becomes very clear. Whereas in the past, so this clarity come to us because of Lama Tsongkhapa's very clear the explanation of this. We are so grateful to Lama Tsongkhapa because he explained this so well in his text, right? Before him, there were so many great saints who think that they were meditating on emptiness when they're just meditating on the atoms of the flower. And they stay in this meditation for years and years and years and years, and they think that they meditate on emptiness. It is not. Why it is not? As Mary said, that atoms, they are positive phenomena. Emptiness is always negative phenomena. Which negative phenomena? Non-affirming negative phenomena. You're getting it? As long as what comes to your mind is affirming negative or a positive phenomena, you are not at all meditating on emptiness. So this distinction is so precious, so precious, so precious. Right? Okay. Now, say, group B. Group B, when you look at this flower, if you see millions of atoms, this analysis is conventional analysis or ultimate analysis. The mind which sees, with the electron microscope, you see this millions of atoms. This is conventional analysis or ultimate analysis. Conventional analysis. Very good. Whereas you see this emptiness of flower, what is this? Conventional analysis, ultimate analysis. Ultimate analysis. So therefore, look, just look at through the same electron microscope, your mind can be conventional analysis or ultimate analysis, depending on how you look at it. If you look at it at the positive atoms, it becomes conventional analysis. If you look at it, looking at the emptiness of flower, you're using the ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Okay, good. Good. Now with this, okay, let's say that, okay, now meditating on the emptiness of the self, the person, right? Emptiness of self, we meditate on this. So what we found was what? What did we found? we found the 6 elements. We found the 6 elements, right? We meditated on the entrance of self already. We found 6 elements. Okay, 6 elements are the parts of the person or the whole of the person. Parts. So the whole, what is the whole? Whole is the person. Whole, what you find is you just found the parts. The parts, are they the whole? Parts, the 6 elements, are they the person? No. So the whole is not one with the parts. The whole is not one with the parts. You're getting it? The whole is not one with the parts. Now, if the parts are not the whole, then remove the parts. The whole may be different from the parts then. If it is not one with the parts, remove the parts, it may be different from the parts. Remove the parts, what happens? Nothing is there. So it is not one with the parts, no different from the parts. Remove the parts, then the self is not left behind. It's not different from the parts also. Not one with the parts, not different from the parts. So where is this whole now? Where is this whole? It disappears. You getting it? Where is this whole? This whole disappears. Okay, now look. So from this, essential number 2, essential number 3. What is essential number 2? Okay, if you don't have the essential 2 and 3 on your fingertips, this is the Gadi will start.
Essential of understanding the emptiness.
Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being one with its parts. Okay, those who are listening to the French, they seem like you are exempted, right? You're not exempted. Okay, you have to say the same thing. Tell me, what is the essential number 2? Those listening to the French. What is the essential number 2? Tell me. Those listening to the French. Yes. Okay, so if Christopher says is correct. Okay. Now what is essential number 3? Those listening to the French. Hey, those listening to the French, what is essential number 3?
La vacuité.
Comprendre que la vacuité de l'objet est différente de
Décision.
Non.
Ok. Ok.
Comprendre qu'il y a pour l'objet la vacuité d'être différent de ses parties. Exact.
Que l'objet est vide, dénué d'être différent de ses parties. La vacuité de l'objet d'être différent de ses parties.
Okay, good. Okay, now let's see that essential number 2. Essential number 2 says that the essential of understanding the emptiness of the object being one with its parts, meaning that object, the whole, the self, is not one with the parts. The self is not one with the parts. What do you mean by self not one with the parts? Which means the parts are not the self. If you know that the parts are not the self, you've understood essential number 2. The self is not one with the parts.
We are looking at the parts separately, but what if we look at the parts together? How are they not the self?
Okay, this is a good question. Okay, the question asks, again, louder.
So far we have been looking at the parts separately, one by one.
Individually.
But if we take the collection of the parts, how is that not the self?
Okay, this is a good question. Okay, is there anyone who can help me? This did not come to my mind. Anyone who can help me? Nicola, you want to help me? Yes.
Maybe this is just conventional analysis to see the whole and not the parts.
Okay, so Nico is asking that the collection, the parts individually, separately, we know that they are not the self. But the parts together, put together, why not this is self? This question.
It's a self conventionally, but if we under ultimate analysis, we do not find, because when we searching its parts, we don't find the self.
Okay, but the Nico's question is the collection of the parts, is it the self? Collection of the parts of the. Yes. Okay, Dinah.
Can I give an example? So if you're using the table as an example, and you have the top and the legs, you have the table, and it's the whole of the parts. But if you put the top on the bottom and the legs all around, what is it?
What about the collection in the specific order?
Okay, now the collection not haphazardly. Right? Haphazard collection is not the self. Right? Collection with a special configuration.
But if it was the self, even in whatever configuration.
No, with the different configuration, there's no self. This is what he agrees. Right? What he's saying is that the collection in a special configuration with a special configuration, that is the self. Okay, yes, Aude?
Nicolas n'est pas moi et moi je ne suis pas Nicolas. Donc à savoir que Nicolas c'est les 5 agrégats, je suis aussi les 5 agrégats, mais qu'est-ce qui fait que Nicolas est Nicolas et moi je suis moi?
Nicolas is Nicolas and I'm me, and Nicolas is ses agrégats, is his aggregates, I am my aggregates, so, et donc what does make that Nicolas is there and I'm here?
C'est-à-dire qu'on a tous les deux, on a l'ensemble des parties, c'est-à-dire qu'il a 5 agrégats, j'ai 5 agrégats.
So both of them, they have 5 aggregates.
They have the collection of the aggregates both.
Yes.
Tous les deux. Qu'est-ce qui fait la différence entre je suis pas claire.
So what makes the difference between them if both of them
are simply the...
Alors qu'on a les
Okay, that's also an interesting question. Wow. Did you follow what Odi is saying? What the right is saying? Or the not the left? What Odi right is saying is very interesting. Hey, this is another question. One question already, second question coming up. Second question is, Nicola is made of 6 elements. Odi is made of 6 elements. What makes the 6 elements, one particular 6 elements, Nico, and another 6 elements into Odi? What makes the difference? Is this a question? Okay, the karma. Okay. The karma is actually a part of the consciousness. The karma falls under the composition factors in terms of but in terms of 6 elements, it falls under the consciousness. Karma, it falls under the consciousness. So therefore, even the karma is also part of that. He has karma, she has karma. Right? So how come that one collection becomes the Ode and one collection becomes Nico? Wow. Huh? Label. But what's the difference there? Right? Huh?
They have both karma, but their karma is different, and their continuums are separate. So, yeah.
Okay, so Ode is taking us into a very complicated, is taking us into a very difficult question, very interesting question. Okay, so this will come little later. Who's going to remind me? This is known as the rejection of the 7 modes. Rejection of 7 modes. You're getting it? There's what is known as rejection of 7 modes presented by Acharya Chandrakirti. We have to do that. Who's going to remind me? Ode is going to remind me? Or Fritz is going to remind me? Yes, Fritz is going to remind me. Right? So this question will be dealt with by Acharya Chandrakirti in his text, Madhyamika Vatha. Okay, so for time being, don't forget this question. This question is very good. Right? Why the collection in the special configuration is not the self. Right? And then on top of this question, how come that if it's just a collection, then the different selves arise out of this? Very good question. Okay. Likewise, the tables, right? Same top line and 4 legs. Top line, 4 legs. The one that you have, one that I have, again, these 2 are different. Right? It's just the same top line and same 4 legs, yet what arises is a different table. The smaller tables, bigger tables, or different tables arise. Okay. So now the point that we are to go through is the essential number 2 and essential number 3, right? And this question will be dealt later on. The two questions will be dealt later on. Essential number 2. What's essential number 2? Essential of understanding the emptiness is Judea. Essential of understanding the. Thank you. Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being one with its part. What is the essential number 3? Anyone? The French listeners? Yes. Okay. When Christopher said yes, he's very happy. Okay. When he's very happy, which means Virginia, you're correct. Thank you. Okay. So the two essentials. Although it is put in a very technical form. Essential understanding the emptiness of the objects being one with the parts. Essential understanding the emptiness of objects being different from parts. Although this seems to be very technical, it's not technical. It's very easy. How? Okay, essential number 2, don't forget. Essential number 2. Essential number 2, you go into yourself, you scan yourself into the 6 elements, and you see that what am I seeing is just the 6 elements. You getting it? You go into the ultimate analysis. You find the parts. You find the parts, and then you say, right? You say, what I'm seeing is just the parts, 6 elements. 6 elements, are they the person? What's the answer? What's your answer? No. The 6 elements, none of the 6 elements is me. Okay, how do you know this? None of the 6 elements, my element of earth within me is not me. How many you know this? Raise your hands. Element of earth within me is not me. Earth meaning the solid part. The bones, the cartilages, heart, lungs, none of this is me. Okay, so from the heart, if the heart is me, then we transplant the heart, right? When there's a problem with the heart, you remove the heart and get new heart. So you're gone. But you are not gone. So which means the heart is not me. Likewise, liver transplant also happens. Likewise, lungs, kidney, right? And then the other internal organs, many of these things can be transplanted, removed, and then a new can be added. Okay. So if you know that none of the 6 elements is me. Raise your hands. How many of you know this? None of the 6 elements is me. If you know this, you know the essential number 2. Me is the whole, 6 elements, parts. None of the 6 elements is me means none of the parts is the self, is the whole. Whole is not one with the parts. You already know this. Okay, now, if the parts are not the self, if the 6 elements are not the self, then remove the 6 elements. Because what you see is, by subjecting the self to ultimate analysis, what you see is just the 6 elements. Remove the 6 elements. Let's say, if there's a rat, mouse, if the mouse is hiding below this cloth, the mouse and the cloth, these two are entity-wise, one or different? Hey, the mouse and the cloth. The mouse is underneath the cloth, mouth and the cloth, these two are entity-wise, one or different? Huh? 2. Very good. Okay, so these two entities different, right? Different. So because these two entities different, you remove the cloth. The mouse should be sitting like this, right? Likewise, you remove the 6 elements. Then the self is sitting like this. No. Remove the 6 elements, what happens to self? Remove the 6 elements, self disappears. So therefore the self is not different from the 6 elements. The mouse is different from the cloth. How do you know that the mouse is different from the cloth? How do you know that the mouse is different from the cloth? When you remove the cloth, you see the mouse in this. Likewise, if the self is different from the 6 elements, remove the 6 elements, then the self is different here. Remove the 6 elements, what happened to the self? Removing the 6 elements, what happened to the self? Self disappears. Which means that the self is not different from the parts. You getting it? Self. Okay, how many of you know this? Remove the 6 elements. No self disappears. Self is not there. Raise your hands. How many of you know this? How many of you know this? Raise your hands. If you know this, you know the third essential. That the self is empty of being different from the parts. You getting it? Okay, now you have gone too close to this object. Going too close to the object, you found the 6 elements. Right? And 6 elements, there is no self. Remove them. Then besides the 6 elements, there is no self. Where is the self now? Tell me. Where is the self? With this ultimate analysis, not the conventional analysis, with this ultimate analysis, the 6 elements are not the self. Remove the 6 elements. There is no self different from the elements. So where is the self? It's empty. Nowhere. It's empty. You are getting it? Or when you say it's empty, because it is not one, it is not different, so therefore it is empty. Empty of objective existence. Empty of objective existence. If you understand this, you have understood the essential number 4. The pervasion that anything which is empty of being one with or different from this past entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. That the self does not exist objectively. You understood the 4th essential. You getting it? Okay. What's the conclusion? I think we have some conclusion, right? After 4 essentials, we wrote a conclusion. What's the conclusion?
The emptiness of the object is the objectivity of the object.
Anyone? Virginia?
La vacuité de l'objectivité de l'objet et l'objectivité de l'objet.
The emptiness or objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object.
Okay, very good. Okay, anyone who listens to in English? What is the final conclusion that we said? Yes, Ola?
Therefore, emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object.
Very good. Okay, can you say this by heart now? Anyone? The all of us? Okay, let us say this by heart. Okay, the French and the English together. Emptiness, therefore, emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. Okay, let's say this 2 more times. Therefore, emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. Therefore, emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. Therefore, emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. Very good, okay. Okay, now, still I'm not going to touch this area. Which area? Conclusion. Still I've not explained to you how the emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. This is extremely precious concept. You getting it? And in fact, if you get some clue of this, you can go anywhere and do meditation. You can go anywhere. You can go to Himalaya. Just this line is good enough for your lifelong meditation. Just this one line is good enough for your lifelong meditation. Right? In fact, if I'm not too presumptuous, even among the Buddhists, not only the Buddhist scholars who actually study this, meditate on this, how many of them really got this understanding? Emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. So less. If you really want to find someone to understand this, you can go to Ganden, Sera, Depong, and these big monastic institutions. Otherwise, very rare you can find anyone understanding this. You getting it? Okay, so therefore, this is extremely precious concept. If you know this, you're hitting emptiness. You're hitting ultimate reality. It is on this basis that many of the incredibly great saints, like Saint Tilupa, Saint Naropa, Saint Saraha, and of course Nagarjuna, all these great beings, they become so confident. They look at the writings. They become so confident. They speak about the emotions, like how it's like a small children's game, because they understood this concept, right? Once you understand this concept, for example, the Saint Tilupa's writings, and then there's some of the great saints, like Jesuit Rangosawa, the great saint scholar who brought Shri Vajrabhairava teaching to Tibet. He was a Tibetan, Shri Vajrabhairava. So he came to Nepal, got this teaching, and then went there, and then because he understood this concept, he became so confident. And look at the writings, you will see the enormity of the confidence he displayed. Likewise, Jesuit Tilupa in his Ganga Mahamudra, in his writing, Ganga Mahamudra, the teaching which he gave to his disciple, to his student, Jesuit Naropa. So they look at it, the amount of confidence he displayed in his writings. So it's all because of this understanding. Emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. This is so precious line, right? Okay. But this now, okay. Today's what date is today? Date. Some say third, some say fourth, some say 6, some say 7, 8. Now somebody should say first. Then all others intact. 2, 3, 4, 5, everything is there.
Thursday, 5th of July, 2018.
Today is 5th. Okay, let's say 5th. 5th, very good. Or Mark says it's 5th. Let's say it's 5th. Okay, say 5th. Right? Okay. Say, which means tomorrow is His Holiness's birthday. Yes. So, tomorrow what we'll do is that we will celebrate His Holiness's birthday. Right? We will offer, say, the offering, right? And His Holiness will be so happy if we have the picture of the Buddha, big one in Kalachakra Center, right? Big one, the Buddha Shakyamuni. Okay, so I request Nico to make a big, the picture for tomorrow. Right? Unfortunately, the picture that he has on his computer is very small, 1 inch by 1 inch of the Buddha that he has. This is the only picture available, right? So he has to develop this into 20 feet by 20 feet to celebrate the birthday of His Holiness tomorrow, right? 20 feet by 20 feet, right? Okay. So this picture, tiny picture, is made of dots. You understand it? Nowadays we have the pixels. It's not pixels, it's the dots. It's the dots, right? There are various technology. Some use the pixels, some use the dots. So one of the techniques is known as DPI, dots per inch. So say this picture of the Buddha, dots per inch. Say this picture is just 1 inch by 1 inch, and it has with 200 dots. With 200 dots per inch, it will be good enough to have the picture visible. Right? If the dots is so less, then the picture is not visible. Okay, how many dots 200 dots. Then if the dots are more, then what we call is a resolution. Resolution is much better. The clarity is much better. So with 200 dots, with 200 dots length, then it's quite good with the picture. So with this here's Nico has only this small picture of Buddha with 200 dots, with 200 dpi, which means it has 40,000 dots. This picture is made of 40,000 dots. So I asked him to develop into 20 feet by 20 feet. 20 feet by 20 feet. You getting it? Okay. So what happens? As this small picture is developed, bigger, enlarged, what happens to the gap between the dots? What happens to the gap between the dots? The gap will increase, right? Gap will increase and dots will become more and more visible. You agree with me? If this tiny picture is developed to 20 feet per 20, huge picture of Buddha, then the dots will be very visible. You agree with me or not? 40,000 dots become very visible. Okay. Now what happens is that, okay, Group A is already there. Group B went to buy this sock offering from the market, right? 10 kilometers away from the Saint Cosme village. And Group A is preparing this big picture of the Buddha, right? Okay. Not Group A. So Nico is preparing this. And Group A is preparing something else. Okay, now what happens is that Group B, coming from outside, closer towards the Saint Cosme village, you see the big picture of the Buddha, right? And then Group B starts seeing the Buddha picture, they say, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Yes? Hey, Group B, you Group B. Right, seeing the Buddha picture? Oh, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami. Okay, now Group A, in some of the work, Nico and two of us, we're hanging this. And then suddenly they see the picture, they see what? They see 40,000 dots. And 40,000 dots, the one who developed this picture, he designed the dots to be the faces of the demons. 40,000 demons' faces are there. Right? And the Group A, after coming from the work, they see this picture. What is this? Demons' faces. What is this? Demons' faces. What did you do, Nico? Demons' faces. And then they look at Group B. Group A look at Group B. Group B are saying, look at the picture, saying, Buddham Sharanam. Right? And Group A becoming so angry. What is Nico doing here? The demons' faces. Right? And the Group B, very surprised. What is Group A doing? They are not respecting this Buddha picture. And Group A thinking that what Group B is doing. Group B is, praying to the demons. Right? Group A sees this is demons. Group B sees this as Buddha. Which is correct? Tell me. Which is correct? Who's correct? Both are correct. How can both be correct? One gives rise to anger. One gives rise to faith and devotion. It's very different. How can you say the both are correct? Tell me. Nico.
One part are looking at the collection and the other part is looking at the parts.
Who is looking at the parts?
The group that sees the demon faces.
Group A. Who's nearer, they see the parts. From the distance, they see the collection parts. So Group A, do you see the whole, the big one? 20 feet by 20. You can see 20 feet by 20 is not too big. It's like this. Can you see this from here? Yes, we can see this. You can see the collection. But you don't see the Buddha. Okay. How come that these two opposite perceptions are correct? Tell me. Anyone? Yes, Ud.
Parce que rien ne vient de l'objet, ça vient du sujet.
Because nothing comes from the object, everything comes from the subject.
Okay. Everything comes from the subject. But what do you belong to which group? Group A or Group B? You are in Group A, right? Group A. So you see demons. Then if it's coming from the object, the subject, why are you cursing now? Why Nico hasn't made this, the demon faces? Why don't you say that, why I'm creating these demons from my mind? You're not saying this. Yes, Virginia?
On voit deux choses différentes parce que c'est deux analyses différentes.
We see two different things because there are two different kinds of analysis.
Okay.
No, we are arriving at the point 4.
Yes.
No, exactly.
So now we finished point 4. Now we are taking another example to do all the 4 points once more. Yes, Martin?
We are looking at different scales.
We are looking at different scales, which means what is really there? On the screen, what is there? The Buddha picture or the demons? Huh? Both are there. Wow. From the object. If from the object both are there, from the object, okay, listen, what Martin is saying is that from the object, both pictures are there. If from the object, if both objects are there, then even from the nearby, why don't you see the Buddha if it's from the object? If it's from the object, if from the object, both pictures are there, right? Both pictures are there, then as you come closer, remember what we said, if the mirage, we said it, right? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? So, if the Buddha picture is on the screen, why don't I see the Buddha picture as we come closer towards the screen? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? How to evaluate that what I'm seeing is water or mirage? How do you evaluate this? Coming closer. Likewise, to see whether the image of the Buddha is on the screen, you have to come closer towards the screen. Coming closer to a screen, you see the demon's faces, Buddha image disappears. You getting it? Okay, now tell me. Coming closer towards the object, coming closer towards the screen, what happened to the Buddha image? Buddha's image disappears. What is left now? Only the 40,000 demons' faces are left. Which of the 40,000 demon faces is a Buddha image? None. Which means the Buddha image is not one with the parts. Right? Now remove all the demon faces. If the Buddha image may be different, Buddha image is very calm, peaceful, demon face is very aggressive, remove all the aggressive parts. Then what is left as a calm, peaceful? What is left? Nothing. So, Buddha image is not different from the parts, not different from the, say, the demon faces are not the Buddha image. If you know this, how many of you know this? Demon faces are not the Buddha image. How many of you know this? If you know this, you know which is essential? Essential number 2, that the whole is not one with its parts. Now, if it's not one with the parts, if the demon faces are not the Buddha image, and if the Buddha image exists from the object, then remove the parts, they may be different from the parts, different from the demon's faces. Remove the demon faces, what happens? Nothing is left there, which means the Buddha image is not different from the demon's faces also. If you understand, how many of you understand this? Remove the demon faces, Buddha image will not be left there. How many of you know this? Raise your hands. Good. If you know this, you've understood which essential? Third one, right? You've understood the third one. From this, what do you conclude? That the parts are not the Buddha image, demon's faces are not the Buddha image, different from the demon's face also Buddha image, so therefore there's no Buddha image there. If you understand this, there's no Buddha image from the screen. If you understood this, you understood the fourth. You understood the fourth. You understood fourth. You getting it? Okay. So with this, look.
Then the conclusion.
Conclusion is still not yet come. Right? Okay. So with this, we see that, okay, say, okay, Okay. You watch a movie of snake movie. And then you know that this is movie. Then after the movie you go out, and then actually it's a road, and this place is frequented by snakes. Usually there are so many snakes around, but in actual what you're seeing is actually a road, and then say you look at it, there's a snake there. Actually it's a rope, and you mistake this rope as a snake. You getting it? Okay. In the second case, why are you screaming? Some of you will for sure scream, right? You scream. Why did you scream? What's the answer? Because I saw a snake. You're getting it? Because I saw a snake. Okay. Now, third scenario. First scenario is you saw a movie of a snake movie. Second, you saw the robe as a snake and you are so scared, so you screamed. Number 3, I take you to the same place and say that this is a robe, this is not a snake. Number 3, you know that it's a robe, it's not a snake. You're getting it? There are 3 scenarios. Okay, now you are in the third scenario where you know that the second one is not a snake, it's a robe. Now I ask you, what did you see in the first movie of the snake? Yes? What did you see during the second time? I saw a robe as a snake. You getting it? Okay, the first one, did it scare you? The first one, did it scare you? No. It's very real, it's moving like this. The movie. But second one scared you, right? Second one scared you, yes? Because this which you screamed. Okay, tell me, why both are deceptive. The first one's also deceptive, second one's also deceptive. Yes, no? Yes, no? Yes. Why you screamed in the second case? Why you did not scream during the first one? Huh? Yes, Virginia.
Because the first one we know it's a movie.
Oh.
The second one we believe it is a snake.
Very good. You're getting it? First one, although it seems like a snake, but you know that it is not real. Second one, you believe that it was a real snake. You're getting it? Okay, look. Both are not true. Both are not true. When you believe that it's true, then the fear arises. Right? Now, in the second case, tell me, in the second case, where is the snake? No snake. But why did you scream? You thought it was a snake. What made you to think that there's a snake? Because there's a perception of snake came to you. Perception of snake, which perceived to be so real, which appeared to be so real. So that snake which you saw in the second case, is it a real snake or is it just a perception? Huh? Just a perception. It's just a perception. This snake is not at all on the road. It's not on the road. It's just your perception. Yes, no?
Yes.
Just a perception. Perception is coming from your mind. Yet, you believe it to be from the object. When you believe it to be from the object, then the fear arises. So therefore, all our emotions like fear, attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth, they are all because of the belief that things exist objectively. In actuality, nothing exists objectively. Everything is like the image of the Buddha. Image of the Buddha, which is just a perception, right? Going towards the object, nothing is really there. Okay, this is very important. Okay. Diyata Om Gati Gati Parasam Gati Bodhiswatya Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam
Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisvagyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisvagyata. Two prostrations together.